Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Jason. I'm your watch guy today. Now I have a channel first for you today. I have a watch from a brand that are currently running a campaign on Kickstarter. This is the Dailos Waveform. It is a full titanium watch, double dome sapphire crystal, right? Follow me with this. NH35 movement. It looks absolutely fantastic. And you can get on board with them right now for $319, which is about £247. Yeah, it's that cheap. Now, I was quite lucky to get this on the channel. A few other reviewers have had it before me, so you may have seen it around. But I would like to give you my spin on it, so I'm really grateful that Dailos have sent this in to me. Now, this has got 3 days left on the campaign, so if you want to get on board, you will have to do it very quickly. I will leave a link in the description to the Kickstarter campaign and also Dailos' website. Go and check them out. They also have a few different colorways, but I personally think that this one's the one to go for, and I'll show you why. So let's get this camera turned around and let's get into this review. So guys, this is the Dailos Waveform, and I believe they call this one the Midnight Blue. I think that dial's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I've spoken to Denzel at Dailos, and he's already told me about a few changes that they're going to make to the production model. Obviously, this is a prototype, so this isn't exactly what you'll get. This is just a representation of it. So in the production model, he's going to change a few things about this bezel. It's going to be a 60 click instead of this 90 click bezel, and it's going to have a tighter and better action because the current one's a bit smooth and has a bit of back play. So after sending these out, he's obviously been made aware of that, and he's going to make a change there. Another thing he's going to do to the bezel is change this color tone here so it better matches the casing, which I think is a good move. This is actually a ceramic bezel, but it really does look like it's titanium. It looks like it flows with the rest of the case. So if he makes a slight change there and it looks even closer to the case, I think that'd be a really nice look. Another thing they're going to change is these double screw links are going to go to single screw links, which I'm really glad about. And as well as that, they have really nice polished edges at the top of this case, and here they're also going to carry that into the clasp, which I think is a really, really nice idea. And one thing that he has been very clear on is that it's going to have a better quality control in production. As I say, this is a prototype. This is just for people like myself to see what this watch is going to be like and try and introduce it to you, my audience. But in production, much better quality control, which again, I'm very glad about. Now, when I was speaking to Denzel, one thing that I mentioned to him is how cheap these watches are, because obviously $299 is what he started at. Now, they're slightly more than that now on the campaign, but still pretty close to that range. It's amazing how much he's packed into this for that price. He told me that because it's a small operation and he's not making very much money, he can offer them at that type of price, which I think is a really, really good move from him. I think it introduces the brand to people in an amazing way and at an amazing price. So props to you, Denzel. I'm very impressed by what you've done here. Another thing he mentioned is that Dailos are looking to bring durable quality watches at an affordable price with great specifications. And I can't really argue with that at the moment, to be honest. So let me talk to you about the dimensions of this watch. It's a 40mm case here to here. Thick, it is 13.8mm. Lug to lug, it is 47.2mm. And the lugs are 20mm. So very easy to find a replacement strap for this one. I don't know why you would though, because this one is absolutely gorgeous. And it's a very wearable watch. It does have a high case, but actually I quite like that it's a high case and that it's compact, because it gives that dive watch feel to it, but it's compact enough for people with wrist sizes like myself to wear. So I really appreciate these dimensions, if I'm honest. So this is a titanium casing. It is also a titanium bracelet. This is reinforced titanium, so it is much more durable than usual titanium. We have a brushed finish pretty much throughout, aside from these high polished chamfered edges, which are really nice to give a distinguished look to the top of the casing. And that little bit of detail in the casing is really nice to see. The crown is positioned down here at the 4 o'clock. This watch really does give me an SKX type of vibe to it. as you can see with the casing style and the crown position. But really, this is exactly what Seiko should have been looking to do with their SKX range. They've offered this at a brilliant price, really affordable, and much higher specifications. Although it has that SKX type of look to it, it's offering so much more in specifications. It is packed with an NH35 movement, which we all know is durable, long lasting, and keeps pretty relatively good time. And I'm a fan of them. There's not much more I'd ask for at this price range than an NH35. I think that's a perfect fit to this watch. Over here at the crown, we have these short crown guards that come to meet the crown itself. This is a screw down crown with really good levels of grip. First pull indicates the date, second pull is the time. Obviously it's a hanging and hand winding movement. The crown does have really good levels of grip and you can manipulate it very easily. It is also a signed crown, which I do like to see. We have a screw down engraved case back. As you can see there, we have an anchor emblazoned on the center of the case back. Waveform, sapphire crystal, titanium, NH35 automatic, all the specifications around the edging. Now, if you're not going to have a display case back on a watch, you're going to have to do something nice to impress me by one. And weirdly enough, right, I've shown this to a couple of people in work, and the first thing that they said to me when they were looking around it, oh, I really like the case back. It's not usually a compliment that I look for in a watch, but yeah, it's nice to have it, I guess. This watch does come with drilled lugs, which will make it easier to access a bracelet change. Such a light watch. If this was on like a NATO or something like that, it'd virtually feel like there's nothing on your wrist. That titanium really bringing down the weight of this one. We have a sharp edged bezel fitted to this one, which is really good for the levels of grip. They are going to change this bezel up slightly. They are going to fix this bezel into a little bit tighter, give it a better quality fit, and they're going to solve this back play issue that they have here. This is a ceramic bezel insert. You see we have a loomed pip up here at 12 in the middle of this triangle. I really like this line design that follows through to the 20-minute indicator. That's very nice. The high polish type of effect gives it a really nice look, and that flows with this polished edge on the top of the case. I really like that type of accent on it. Obviously 10-minute indicators in Arabics and batons at the 5s. Finishing off this casing, we have a double dome sapphire crystal, which is very nice. That's a piece of quality to me. I really like that. And I'm really impressed with that, to be honest. I think this casing is absolutely fantastic. We are provided with a 300-meter water resistance here. Now, this watch really does have a nice tool watch type of vibe to it, but that 300-meter water resistance is not something to be sniffed at. I mean, that's pretty decent. That's really impressive that they provided this with a 300-meter water resistance. Another thing to mention about this sapphire crystal is that it is layered with 5 layers of anti-reflective coating on the underside of the crystal, which again is another piece of quality added into the specifications of this watch that they just keep seeming to add on and on and on. So as I've mentioned earlier, this is the Midnight Blue dial variant. They do have 3 other variations on this one. Check out their website to see them. They have a lighter blue, which is absolutely gorgeous. I think the Time Teller had that one in, if you want to go check his review of them. Again, beautiful dial, but let's concentrate on this one. So it has this effect that's like a sunburst, sunray type of effect on the dial. It catches the light so nicely. Now, when I got this home and got it out of the box, I thought this dial was slightly purple. It had a purple tone to it, which I thought was absolutely gorgeous. But I am slightly colourblind, and my missus informed me that no, it's a navy blue. But either way, I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous dial. In the right light, it definitely looks a little bit purple. Maybe it's me, but yeah, that's what I get from it, and I really enjoy that. So we have applied loomed indices at the hour markers. They are surrounded by a stainless steel effect border. At the 12 and 6, we have double batons. At the 9, we have a singular baton. Circular indices at the rest of the hour markers aside from the date window at the 3 o'clock. Now, the date window on this one is something that also adds to those really impressive specifications. It is colour matched to the dial. That's not a black date wheel. It is actually matched to the colour of the dial. Now, genuinely, I don't know the last time that I've seen that in a watch, especially one that comes in at this price range. A lot of manufacturers will just put in a white date window and just skip over that type of detailing. It doesn't always bother me, but it's nice when a brand will actually put a matched date wheel in, because you really do notice the difference, and it really makes the entire dial flow much better. We also have a colour matched chapter ring surrounding this dial, which gives it a nice chasmed effect in this casing. We have a white minute track surrounding that, a white printed minute track. We have a white printed Dailos logo at the 12 o'clock. Down here at the 6 we have the Waveform print, automatic, 300 meters water resistance. Very, very pretty dial, this one, I'm going to say that much. Like, it really does strike me. You know what I'm like for a nice dial, a dial that has a nice design to it, or an attractive design to it. It just makes wearing a watch that little bit nicer. You know, when you're looking at the time, it just catches your eye really nicely, and when it catches that light perfectly, it's something else. This watch is packed with this sword style handset, nice bold hands with that centered loom. We also have a lollipop second hand ticking away. Now, as I've mentioned, the handset and indices are loomed. They are loomed with BGW9 Super Luminova. Now I'm just going to pop in the loom shot just here for you. Now, this is a prototype, so take this with a pinch of salt. Usually with prototype watches, they'll improve the loom in production. Now this one isn't exactly applied perfectly. I've noticed small pieces in the center of the handset where it isn't fully applied, but I would expect in the production models that it's applied fully evenly, so that's something to take with a pinch of salt. The loom is actually really good quality, and you can see that they've applied plenty of it, so I am keen to see that production model and see how they've done with that loom. I do expect it to be more evenly applied. So as we move on to this bracelet, it is that same reinforced titanium. As I said, they are going to change these double screw links to single screw links, which would be a massive improvement. These are so annoying to change. We have this female end link here. These are solid end links. This female end link makes it much easier to wear this watch. It makes it conform to the wrist much nicer. The clasp is a double pusher clasp. It has a Dailos logo engraved on the clasp there. We have a little step up here, a little bit of machining down the sides. Now, as I said, they are going to put a high polish through that to match it up with the case, which I think would be a really nice effect. We have 4 levels of micro adjust, and it is a milled fold out clasp. Really good quality, this one, and genuinely that's all I've been able to say throughout the watch. Just absolute quality build. Now let me put this one on wrist and show you how it looks on my 6.2 inch wrists. So here we have the Dailos Waveform on wrist, and as you can see, that light is really catching it very nicely. I like the darker titanium look on it. I like how the light catches that bezel nicely where the polish points are, and I like the polish points on the top of the casing. I just think this is a gorgeous watch, and honestly, it's the most easily wearing watch that I've had in for a good while. It fits so nicely to wrist. I'm so impressed with it, like so impressed with it. Now, I kind of sat here for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes trying to list out my moans about this watch, and honestly I've kind of fallen a bit for this, so it was hard to do that. So as I mentioned, the bezel's being changed, so I can't really moan about the action on that. There is backplay in this prototype model, but they're going to resolve that in the production. As well as that, the loom that I've already mentioned, it's not fully evenly applied, but again, in a production model, I'd expect that to be rectified. The only thing that I could really come up with is that maybe they could put a diver's extension in or something. Really, I'm just clutching at straws for a moan, and that's why that's in there. I'm so impressed by this watch. I'm so impressed by the price, the specifications, how it feels on wrist, how it looks. I just think Dailos have absolutely nailed this design, and they've nailed this watch. I'd recommend this to pretty much anyone who wants a 40mm dive style, tool style titanium watch. It's perfect for that. It just really is. So guys, as you can probably tell, I'm really impressed by this watch. So much so that I actually decided that I was going to sell a couple of my pieces last night so I could jump on the campaign myself. I think this is an absolutely gorgeous watch, and I don't think I'm going to get the same type of value anywhere else on the market. So yeah, that's my opinion, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is, I guess. Because yeah, I'm going to be one of those backers too. Now, if you wanted to back this campaign also, I've left the links in the description. I've also left the link to Dailos' website. If you want to go check out the other colours that are available, that aqua blue dial will really get you going if this one doesn't, trust me. Denzel, I'm pretty confident that you're going to be watching this, so thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to review this watch, and it's been very nice chatting to you about it. For a Liverpool fan, you're not that bad, I guess. Thanks for watching this, guys. I'll see you in the next one.